Yadvaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome to the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Southern Division, the fifth wave, Sthāyi Bhav. We have been discussing the Sthāyi Bhav. And if you remember in our last class, we discussed uh, the Mukhyarati and the Gaunaratis are there. In the Mukhyarati, there is Swartha and Parartha, and there is Shuddha, which is unmixed. And in this, there is Samanya, Swachha, and Shanta. And there is Dasya or Pritiras, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. Madhurras, it is mentioned. And within these categories, Dasya, Sakya, and Vatsalya, there are two divisions. There is the Kevala and the Sankula. Kevala is unmixed with any other type of rati. It's exclusively Dasya, exclusively Sakya or Vatsalya, as Nand Maharaj and all. Sankula is there is a mixture of 2 and 3, as in Uddhav. Those generally in Aishwarya Gyan have this. Also, but in Vraj it is found because Mukura example is given. So we have discussed all this and we began the discussion on Gauna Rati. The Gaun Ratis are Hasya, Adbhuta, Shoka, Utsa, Shoka, Krodha, Bhaya, and Jugupsa. Now we'll have to see the Sanskrit terms only because the English terms sometimes can be not clearly expressing that emotion. They cannot clearly express that emotion. Hasya, of course, you know, uh, is laughter, and Adbhut is astonishment. Utsaha. Now, Utsaha is very, very precise. So today, when we see the definition of Utsaha, it will become more and more clear to you all. So that's why I meant Shok is, lamentation, but it is spiritual lamentation. Krodh is anger. Bhaya is fear. Jugupsa is disgust. So now then we went into the definition. When there is a different emotional state because of the alamban. Alamban is Vishaya alamban here, Krishna, and manifest while the primary rati subdues. So the primary rati subdues. That means it is parartha. Then it is secondary. That is the definition of secondary. That is the definition of Gaunras. And then there are these 7 he mentions, the emotions, hasya, humor. Now, actually, you see, humor is, hasya is translated by humor, which is again very, very apt. Because hasya, you cannot just say as laughter. Because even very, very serious persons in spiritual life, they just make a comment which is very, very deep and like an ocean, but it is highly humorous. And they don't laugh also. you know. So I'll just give you one example. Just few days back, Prabhupada disciple was here, and after the Mangalarti, during after the Japa time, and the class was over, I met him. I introduced myself. My name is Rambhadra Priyadas. What's your name? And he said so and so. When is the main program going to start? The Bhagavatam class was over, and I was a little taken aback. What is this main program? So he said the main program is, Prashadam. That's the main program, in ISKCON. So I started laughing, and then suddenly I told him, please come to the ashram to take prasad. And I was serving him prasad, and, then there were, bananas. So I personally went near him and asked, would you like to have bananas? You don't ask a monkey whether he needs bananas. So he did not reply that yes, I wanted or no. His reply was very humorous. And till today, now also I'm laughing. You don't ask a monkey whether he needs bananas. So similarly, this hasya is not just laughter. It is actually humor. And then there is vismaya, astonishment, utsa, fortitude. And then shok, lamentation, krodha, bhaya, and jugupsa disgust. Okay. So these are the seven. And because these seven are under the control of primary rati, Krishna is the cause, vibhavatvam, for the first six, whereas he is not the cause for the seventh one. The seventh one is the material body or other objects. Okay, so that's what he makes it clear. And then these seven bhavas are different from the primary swartha ratis composed of Shuddha Shattva Vishesh. Because these primary ratis manifest only at the Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. But when these seven emotions are conjoined with the primary rati, they take the role of parartha. They take the role of parartha, and that's why the word rati is used to describe these conditions. So that's what he clarifies. And then when hasya predominates, that means, the mukhya rati, it is parartha now, it is called hasya rati. And similarly, the other six also should be understood. So this is the definition of hasya. And these hasya emotions and other emotions I mentioned, hasya adaya, that means the other seven also emotions, take on beautiful forms. Charu krita, charu means beautiful, we saw, by the influence of primary rati in a particular devotee, in a particular pastime, and remain for some time. They can be considered as sadhu bhavs. So why these are considered as Sthāyi bhavs? They are gauna because they take on beautiful forms because of the influence of the primary rati and in a particular pastime, and they remain for some time. And that's why they are called as, Sthāyi bhavs, but they are not mukhya, they are gaun. Therefore, these seven emotional states manifest for a short time in a person and are not fixed in any particular person. Even though these seven emotions manifest spontaneously, they disappear by being covered by the contrary bhavas arising from the primary rati. So the primary ratis are fixed according to one's inclination, and sometimes they are subdued. They become parartha because the secondary rasas take over. The secondary rasas take over. When a primary rati in its essential form does not leave the devotee, it is considered to be continuous. Atyantika Sthāyi bhav. So he has attained Atyantika. I was explaining in the last class this term Atyantika Sthāyi bhav. Just like, maybe I'm just giving an example. At the Raganuga sadhana level, you are also inclined to hear Krishna's cowherd pastimes with his friend Sakya, and also his Madhurya pastimes. And you're doing sadhana in that end because it's still clear to you that what sarupa you want. So you're practicing these different sadhanas, both to attain Sakyarati and maybe Madhurya. And actually, that's why the spiritual master has to be guiding you. And as you become more and more clear, as the internal purity of the heart increases, then you pinpoint, no, it's, I need, I'm inclined more towards this, just like I'm giving an example, somebody is inclined for engineering and another is inclined for medical, so his inclinations are more towards that direction, but he's still not clear. Or within medical there can be medical and dental. So, and then he's still not clear. At last, uh, for him, he writes the exam, he gets the marks, but when he goes for the seat selection, he doesn't get into the medical, and by karma he gets into the dental. So that is according to karma. But here the sadhana, when he attains even the higher states, and now he is more clear, and in the stage of bhava he has attained his swarupa, it is madhurya, for example, but that again fully attains perfection. So that is what is called as atyantiki, is my understanding. I'm explaining, it's my understanding based on my reading. I would still like to discuss with some of the senior sannyasis, especially Bhanu Maharaj, who has translated it. So they are present in all types of devotees. With that continuous Sthāyi bhav, all of the bhavas such as has are dysfunctional. When the continuous is functional, then this becomes dysfunctional. Those the secondary bhavas become Sthāyi bhavas in the enemies of Krishna. They are not suitable for Bhakti Rasa because they don't have primary rati. Now, then, what about these 33 Vyabhichari bhavas? Although they are not contaminated by hostile emotions, they also appear and disappear after some time. They are not classed. They are not classed as Sthāyi bhavas. What is the reason? Anyone knows? Raise your hands. What is the reason they are not classed as Sthāyi bhavas? Anyone? Last week we discussed this. We started going very slow here, and line by line we have been discussing and trying to explain you all. Who will answer this? The Vyabhichari emotions also rise in the Sthāyi bhav, and they embellish the Sthāyi bhav and they disappear. We have seen that, you know, how the utpatti of the Sthāyi bhav happens, and then how the sandhi happens, and then how the conjunction happens, and then how it disappears. So they also, these 33 should be classified as, Gaunaratis. Why they are not classified? Anyone remembers the answer? Raise your hands. Anyone? Bir Krishnaji. Bir Krishnaji. Haribol.
RX to I'm unable to reconnect.
Pardon?
Haribol,
Yeah.
no, I'm unable to reconnect.
Oh, last week only we had a long discussion on this. We had a real long discussion on this. Anyone else? Anyone else? What is the reason? Anyone else? Anyone else? The reason is because, these seven, Gaunaratis leave an impression, whereas the Vyabhichari bhavs don't leave impression. Now, impression I mean on the soul, not on the subtle bhakti, because they are all pure. Okay, so this was mentioned here. The secondary rasas also disappear after time by being covered by the contrary bhavas, but verse 51 explains that the secondary ratis leave impressions after they disappear, whereas the Vyabhichari bhavas do not leave impression. Like if Mother Yashoda always, in lamentation, she's about to give her body, when she sees Krishna in the coils of Kaliya, she always has this Vyabhichari bhav coming now and then it'll in one sense, constrict her natural flow of the Sthāyi bhav in the form of Vatsyal. So they don't leave impressions, these Vyabhichari bhavs. It's forgotten. Whereas, I mentioned like Krishna and Sudama had some joking, discussion, and they laughed. And next time they see again they remember something, and again they remember that impression, and then they again laugh together. So these secondary Gaun Rasas leave impression, and that's why they are classed as Gaun Ratis. Vyabhichari bhavs are also in one sense, emotions which appear and disappear, but they are not classed as Gaun Ratis because they don't leave impressions. I hope it is clear. Okay, now we have recapped what we discussed in the last classes. I'm now coming to text 49. इत्यतो मति गर्वादि भावानां घटते नहि स्थायित्या कश्चित् इष्टापि प्रमाणं तत्र तद्विदः. Though some persons would like to consider kashit ishtapi, mati, garva, and other vyabhichari bhavas, mati, garva, adi bhavanam, to be stavi bhavas, stahitya, they are not classed as such. Iti ato ghatate nahi. Bharat Muni and others, tadvida are the authority for the statement. Pramanam tatra. So tadvida, you know, in the translation it is, tadvida. Vida means those who are knowers of rasa. this science of rasa, they have mentioned that, although some might consider these, so he's just further clarifying these, you know, uh, in these verses. Okay. The first statement is contrary to the author's views. Thus, the authority is then given. So somebody might contradict, this, that the Vabhichari bhavs, are not classed as Sai bhavs. So this is what Rupa Goswami is saying. Now, to prove this, he is giving a praman. So verse 49 is giving a praman, tadvida. Okay. Tadvida means person such as Bharat Muni. Okay. So text 50. Now, if you have any questions, you are free to raise your hands. Huh? Saptahasyadastva ete taistair nita supushtatam bhakteshu sthayityam yanto ruchir ebhyo vitanvate. The second, seven secondary emotions. Saptahasyadesto ete, being nourished greatly, supushtitam, by vibhavs, anubhavs, Satviki bhavs and Vebhichari bhavs, Tais Tair Nita, take up the status of Sthayi bhav in the devotees. Bhakteshu Sthahityam Yanto, and produce a taste in the devotees. Ruchir Ebhyo Vitanvate. So when you have that humor, you're tasting it internally, you're relishing it. So these seven secondary emotions are nourished because ultimately, Sthahi bhav has to combine with vibhav, anubhav, satwiki bhav, vibhichari bhavs, and then gives rise to rasa, taste, right? So similarly, stahi bhav is also mukhya and gaun. So the gaun also have to be combined with vibhav, anubhav. The vibhav has to be there. Vishaya Krishna has to be there. Otherwise, it is not considered as rasa. You know. You know that many people, especially there are morning joggers, just to have the happy state, they in the park garden, they laugh, you know, and just to become free from the anxieties and mental pressures in this world, and they just laugh artificially, and they think this is happiness, you know. But this is, Maya might be also laughing at you all. It doesn't mean that death is not going to come. But that same laughter, when one has Tahi Bhav in relationship to Krishna and that laughter is there, that is eternal. That is a source of rasa in relationship to Krishna. So there is a lot of difference. Laughter in this material world and laughter, in relation to rasa with Krishna. So they produce rasa. So that's the point being made. I hope it is clear. Okay, any questions up till now? Any questions, any clarifications? Now we are starting to go into each of these. Uh, the definition of the Gaon rasas was given, and a lot of verses spoke about the clarification. Now each of the definitions of the seven Gaon rasas will be given, and there will be scriptural references given. So before I go into that, I wanted to know if anyone has any questions up till now. Any questions, any clarifications? Okay, so let's start now. Tata choktam. Cha uktam. Cha uktam becomes choktam because of sandhi. Ashtanam eva bhavanam samskaradit samskaradhyayita tattiraskrita samskara paresa sthayitochita. In a devotee, one of the primary sthayi bhavs and the seven secondary bhavas together make eight bhavas, because there has to be one primary bhava, either Shanta, Dasya, Vatsalya, and then the seven produce lasting impressions. Samskar aditya mata. Samskar adhyayita mata. Even though they may externally disappear for some time. But there are lasting impressions. These lasting impressions, again, please remember, they are part of the soul. They are not part of the subtle body. Since the impressions of the Vabhichari bhavs disappear, samskara pare, after they are covered by these eight, tat tiraskrita, the Vabhichari bhavs are not considered to be Sahi bhavs. Na sthāhitya uchita. So here in 51 definition, it is very, very clearly made why the Vabhichari bhavs are not considered Sthāyi bhavas. I hope this is clear. Any questions on this? Because there's no commentary to this. Any questions on this? I've made it quite clear when last class also discussed in the beginning, now in this class, and now again. But still, if you have not got it, please raise your hands. Any clarifications? Yes, Bir Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, this when it is said ki one primary bhava and 7 secondary bhava. This 7 secondary bhava, Prabhu, this seventh one which is disgust, this also comes together. I mean, when we are counting 8.
Yeah, it is counted. Disgust is also counted. There are 7 plus 1. The 7, in order to manifest, there has to be one primary rati. So now only these 7 are gone, and there has to be one primary rati. Then only there is rasa.
But Prabhu, in case of 7th Gaun Rati, this disgust, Krishna is not the cause for this.
No, Krishna is not the cause, but it doesn't mean what is the use of my keeping this body? Krishna has left from Mathura and gone. So like that, when that is expressed, so that can be again, and we'll come to that examples. When we come to the examples, we'll become more clear about it. Very soon we'll come to the examples.
Right.
I think for disgust, I know. Yeah, disgust, Rupa Goswami gives the pramanas yadavadi mama cheta Krishna badarindo. You know that Yamunacharya, na?
Yes.
When I'm relishing this so much rasas in relation to Krishna, the thought of sex, my lips turn in disgust, he says. So, and I spit. So that is jugupsa, So that's, so even in Krishna Leela it can happen. But again, we'll have to see that when we actually go into the fourth wave, more details will come. Not fourth wave, the northern wave. Now
Right.
we are only discussing Sthāyi Bhav. Sthāyi Bhav, which is one of the components of rasa, which is in the southern division. But now these 5 primary ratis will be in the western. The 7, ratis will be in the northern. So that time, again, more details. Actually, one should go into this and we will discuss there, and there again things will become more clear. But not in relation to Krishna means because of the material body and others was mentioned. So what are the others? Even I am not clear, but maybe there when we go, it might become more clear. Is it okay for now?
Right. Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Any other questions anyone else has? Okay, so let's go now into hasirati. Tatra hasirati. Cheto vikaso has syad vag veshehadi vaikrityat sadrik vikasana shaushta kapolo Spandanadikrit. When there is cheerfulness in the of the heart, cheta vikaso hasa. Cheerfulness, the cheta becomes vikas from irregularity of speech. Swyad vak, dress or actions. Vesha, Veshadi, Vaikrityat. Vaikritya means, the dress is not proper. It is called has. In this state, sir, the symptoms of opening of the eyes fully, drik, vikasana, and quivering of the nose, lips, and cheeks. So all this happens in the Hasirati. If you see Prabhupada pictures, opening of the eyes, I'm just trying to find it, because we have to, every picture you have to now start studying from the analysis of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Every picture you can see based on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which rasa is this picture depicting. Let me see if I have the picture of Srila Prabhupada. I had kept them, but I did not do my homework. Uh, I'm specifically looking for one picture which I very clearly know that. Okay. Yes, I have got it, but I'll find out other pictures also. So here you can see this picture. What are the lakshanas that this is Hasirati? Anyone? What are the lakshanas? Which is given in this verse. Okay, I'll take the verse. Now you please tell me how it is Hasirati. Anyone? Very clear now. Shubha Ikshana Krishna Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, am I audible?
Yes, very much. Very clear.
Prabhu, in this picture, both the Prabhupada and the person who is
No,
sitting, the
no,
devotee who is sitting.
just speak about Prabhupada.
In Prabhupada, Prabhu, it is, although he's there in the airport, but it is like, and he's in a sannyasi dress, he's laughing, he's cheerful.
You are going into other details. Just focus on Hasirati. Don't go to that.
Eyes are open, and the lips are in the hasya rati, and nose is also like it's a cheerful mood there, and
Yeah,
in the
the
Prabhupada
cheeks, the
case.
cheeks, the cheeks. You can see the
Cheeks.
cheeks.
Yes.
Yes. You
Yes.
can see there is a lips and the cheeks, and the eyes fully, and I told that I will find out the picture very soon. The cheerful mood is there. Yes, that's what, the inner happiness is there. So the Hasirati is very clear here. Yeah, like that you'll have to now uh, see everything from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu perspective, all pictures. Okay, I'm going to unmute you all, mute you all, because otherwise there will be distraction. Yeah, okay. Now next verse. कृष्ण संबंधी चेतोत्तः स्वयं संकुचत आत्मनः रत्यानुग्रहमानोऽयं हास्यो हास्यरति भवेत्. Now this is when hasya ayam arises from actions related to Krishna. Krishna sambandhani cheta utta. Utta means it is arising from the primary rati assumes subdued role, and the primary rati assumes a subdued role. This text 53, subdued role. Hasya becomes Hasirati. So the Hasya has to become Hasirati. Now, there is the Hasya, Bhava, and then there is, actions related to Krishna. There are vibhava. So all these combine together, they subdue the primary bhava, and then it becomes a hasya rati. So I hope you got it. Okay. Purport to this. In verse 43, the definition of secondary ratis was given. When a primary rati becomes covered by hasya, it is called hasya rati. Now in this verse, it is said that hasya and other emotions are called rati because of assuming rati as their own nature by identifying themselves as rati. Hasya rati means rati like has. This is similar to the meaning of the compound Purusha Vyagra, tiger like men. Now, Purusha Vyagra, these are called as epithets. In English, this is the term, but in Sanskrit, they are called as Visheshana. You say Krishna is Krishna. You're addressing Krishna, but when you say Charu Krishna, Charu is beautiful Krishna. So you add an epithet, beautiful Krishna. Similarly, he is very powerful. How? Like a tiger. Purusha Vyagra. This man is a Purusha, but he has a strength of a tiger. It's not that this man has become a tiger. So similarly, because of Hasya, it takes on to the Hasya Rati. That's the meaning here. Previously, the meaning of Hasya Rati, primary Rati, takes up the mood of Hasya, would be similar to the word Shaka Parthiva, the king who enjoys vegetables. Hasya Rati manifests by the primary Rati limiting itself. Sankuchat Atmana. Yeah. You see, I told you that, it has to become Parartha. The primary Rati has to become subdued and Hasya Rati takes over. Sometimes, you have this, experience when you're two friends and maybe you have not so intimate relationship that you're not so close and friendly that you pat each other, but you have that awe and reverence, but suddenly you two friends start based on something, you just start laughing like anything, and out of laugh one other friend uh, hits the other friend, and when you hit now you don't mind, and you also overcome by that hasirati. Actually, it is not hasirati because it's not in relation to Krishna, but I'm giving this example. So when you hit him, you at that point, that that relationship of reverence which you had for your superior friend is forgotten, and uh, you pat him on the back, or you clap, or you hit him, because hasirati has taken over and the primarity is limited. The cause of limiting the primarity is given. It arises from the spreading of intense happiness from actions related to Krishna. Krishna Sambandhi Cheta Uttha. So this is the reason. But even seeing the irregularity in actions in persons hostile to Krishna, not directly related to Krishna, laughter may arise. Laughter can arise, you know, which will also become a cause of restricting the primarity, because at that time the devotee will be happily thinking of the future actions of Krishna, which will destroy those enemies. So, like Krishna is killing a demon, and the way Krishna is killing, the friends of Krishna are laughing, and if especially, I think this you can see, I am now, somehow inspired to show you pictures, because pictures make it very, very clear. Actually, the whole pictures is a science of emotions. One has to clearly understand, seeing pictures, how we can see emotions. We should be able to. I'm just looking for a specific picture. Let me see if I can get it. Okay. Just give me just 30 seconds. I would like to show you this picture, because then things. Yes. Yes. Oh, okay. I'm not able to. Oh, oh. Yes, I got it. I got it. I'm just showing you now. Please try to understand this. I'm sharing the screen. Yeah. So in this picture, you can see the Gopas are entering the mouth of Agasur. And you see they're in Hasya playing and laughing. But all that is not in relation to Krishna. So that is the point here. But even seeing the irregularity in actions in persons hostile to Krishna, not directly, laughter may arise, which will also become a cause of restricting the primarity, because at that time the devotee will be happily thinking of future actions of Krishna, which will destroy those enemies. I hope you got it, what this statement means. This should be understood in the case of other secondary ratis also. So the same thing should be understood even in the case of secondary ratis. Okay, let's see the example now. Yatha. Krishna said, Achyuta, oh beautiful woman, Sumukhi, I swear to you, Tubhyam Shape. Shape means I swear that I have not even looked at the yogurt. Maya drik api na arpita dadni. But tadapi, your bold friend, Sakitova, is sniffing my mouth in vain. Niragala me mukam jigranti. Give instructions to your friend. Prashadi tam imam mudha. Shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanna. Shadi means not marriage. Shadi means instruction. So prashadi is, pra is a prefix here. Give instructions to your friend that she does not accuse innocent persons like me. Chalita sadhum itya. When the gopi servant heard these words, vadati ajani dukita, she could not restrain her laughter. Hasita rodena na shama. So in Krishna Lila, the rasas are in action. The rasas are in action. So this is the reference Rupa Goswami is giving, and I don't know where this reference is from, but let's see. Bringing yogurt to the forest on the pretext of performing worship of the devatas, the gopis were moving about here and there in order to pick flowers. So this is the gopis, they were they're getting yogurt to the forest, and they are telling at home that we are going for worshipping the devatas, but actually they're picking flowers for worshipping Krishna. Krishna was carrying on an exchange with one gopi who was assigned to safeguard the yogurt alone by staying next to it. So there's one gopi who was assigned, you stay here and watch on the yogurt, and we all will go and collect flowers. So Krishna is actually having an exchange with that gopi. Suddenly one coy gopi, coy means, uh, I don't know how to say, let us see the meaning of it. Then maybe it will become koi is like a uh, koi is someone who is playful, very very provocative. Sometimes some devotees are very provocative, they come and provoke you all the time, or some are very very shy, so like that. So that is the koi gopi. So one koi gopi appeared and began sniffing Krishna's mouth to see if he had eaten the yogurt. So this gopi is observing, you know yeah, shy, correct. So but in order to increase rasa in Krishna's pastime, so this koi gopi comes and starts sniffing Krishna's mouth. And who this gopi is, anyone can guess? Anyone? Please don't type, you can raise your hands, because every time I have to click on that and see. Any guess who this koi gopi must be? Anyone? Okay, let's see. Krishna refers to her in this verse. So Krishna is referring to this koi gopi, not the gopi who was safeguarding the yogurt. Sometimes Jarati, old woman, replaces Sumiki, and Vadu, young woman, replaces Saki, but this is not the accepted version. So that is clarifying. Now Vishwanath Chakra Thakur on this makes it more clear. One time a messenger, seeing that Jatila had gone to the village, brought Krishna to meet Radha in Radha's house. So a messenger saw that Jatila is not at home. So she brought Krishna to Radha's house, in Radha's house only. That is in her mother-in-law's house. Suddenly Jatila appeared and saw her daughter-in-law enjoying with Krishna. She began to scold Radha. In order to deceive her, Krishna spoke these words. So here Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is narrating another pastime. That is a different pastime. This is a different pastime where, so he's narrating this. And then Krishna spoke these words. What? Old lady, I have not even looked at your yogurt. Now the yogurt is what, Anyone can think? What is the yogurt here? Anyone? That requires Kavya Shastra knowledge here. Even I have zero knowledge about it. But anyone, what is the yogurt here? Birgrish Proji.
For example, is it referring to Srimati Radharani?
Yes, it is referring to Radharani. Radharani. Your bold daughter is sniffing my mouth in order to confirm if I have eaten the yogurt. You should teach your daughter that such hostile doubts, unsubstantiated, should not be entertained for cultured persons such as myself. The messenger could not stop herself from laughing. So the messenger, she could not stop. After he had stolen some yogurt from the pots of two gopis, Krishna told one of his gopi friends. Now, this is another way Prabhupada is explaining. My dear beautiful friend, I take oath that I have not stolen even a drop of yogurt from your pot. But still your friend Radharani is very shamelessly spelling the flavor of my mouth. Kindly forbid her from this devious policy of putting her face near mine. When Krishna was speaking like this, the friends of Radhan could not check their laughter. This is an instance of laughter in ecstatic love. Okay, now next is Vismay Rati. So the next text is Vismay Rati. Lokottaraartha vishader vismayaschitta vishtrita atrasyur netra vistara sadhu ukti pulakadaya purvoktaritya nishpinna savishmerati bhave on seeing something unusual. Loka uttarartha vikshader. Viksha means to see. The mind may inquire, how could this be? Chit vistrita. This disposition is called as Vismay, wonder, wow, something like this happened. In this state, the symptoms are atrasya, widening of the eyes. The eyes become widened, uttering words like very good, sadhukti, and hair standing on end, pulakadaya. The relation of Vismay to Vismayrati, Sa Vismayrati Bhavet, is the same as Has to Hasrati. So you mentioned na Has with other primary rati combines and gives rise to Hasrati. Similarly, Vismay in relation to Krishna gives rise to Vismay Rati. When the primary Rati recedes, Vismay becomes prominent for some time and acts as Rati. So again, now I am trying to search a picture of Prabhupada on Vismay Rati. Give me again a minute, please. Actually, I should have done this homework. Let me see. I'm specifically looking for a picture where this Vismay Rati is there. I have to go through the collection of entire Prabhupada folio pictures. There's one classic picture I'm trying to search. So there is one very famous picture which I'm very clear in my mind. I want to show you that, but it's not coming here in the. Let me see. No, I am not showing from Krish Leela. I am showing Prabhupada pictures, Prabhuji. In the Prabhupada picture, it is there. Give me still half a minute. Let me find it out because we'll relish it. That's why. If I'm not able to, then maybe in the next class I will do the research, and I've seen that picture very, very well. Uh, I've seen it in Prabhupada Acharya book. So here it is not coming up, but okay. No, it's not coming up. Sorry for that. I will show it next time to you all. So that is Vismay Rati. I'll just share the screen. I will show this picture. Somebody sent me this, but that's not the one I'm looking for. Okay. Now let's go into this commentary by Srila Jiva Goswami. This triti or expansion of the mind means the mind displays various conditions at what is this? What is this? In wonder. Expansion of the heart was mentioned in relation to Has in verse 52, Cheto Vikasa, where it meant joy. So there the Cheta Vikaso is the heart expands and there is joy in the heart, and that's why that joy in the heart internally, externally manifests that the cheeks, become big, the nose, the lips, like that. So that is what is verse 52 when Hasirati was spoken. But here, there is the expansion of the mind mentioned. So there is a little subtle difference between the two. However, here it means opening up. So there is an opening here. That's the difference. Okay. Example. When Brahma saw all the calves and cowherd boys, Gavam Gopalanam Api Shishu Gana manifest as forms of Supreme Brahma, Parabrahma as Narayan forms with 4 hands. Prutu Bhuja Chatuskair Dritaruchi, wearing yellow garments, Pitavasano and marked with Srivasa, Lasat Srivatsanke, who, sir, being praised by Krita Stotra Arambhyalam, all the inhabitants of the universe, including many Brahmas, Vidhi Bhir, Ajana, Jan, Aja, Ajandalibir. He became astonished and uttered, Ullasan Vahati. What is this? Kidamadam, Kimidam. What is this? Hanta Kimidam. So this is, this is the Rati, Vismay Rati. This is in the Brahma Vimohan Leela. Once Brahma was watching all the cows and covered boys dressed in yellow garments and decorated with valuable jewels. The boys were expanding their forearms on and being worshipped by many hundreds of other Brahmas. All the cowherd boys began to express their joyfulness for being with Krishna, the Supreme Brahman. At that time, Brahma showed this astonishment by exclaiming, what am I seeing? This is the instance of astonishment in ecstatic love. Okay. Next comes the Utsarati. So I don't know whether we should continue because Utsarati will take some more time. At least there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slides. Can we take, or do you have any questions up till now? It's already 8:30. Can we take? Should we stop? Any questions, any clarifications here? Okay, so we will stop here and the others will become very quickly. We can go through them tomorrow and further continue the discussion. So thank you very, very much. Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki jai, Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.